Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Game Dojo. And as you could not tell, we are in Atari, the land of Atari, one of the OGest consoles in the day. You can talk about the forefront building blocks of game systems all you want, but if that name Atari ain't in your mind and in your vocabulary, then we can't have a conversation, because before there was Nintendo, before you were talking Sega, before you were talking those other beautiful gems at the time frame, Atari had been out. Atari 2600, Atari 5200, 7800. I mean, we could do ColecoVision, but we ain't doing that. We doing Atari. So Atari, the birthplace of gaming for so many old school people. I don't know if you guys even know what Atari is. Today they exist as a game maker, but most of you guys didn't realize how many different systems over the years they made, how many contributions Atari has pushed for the mainstream of gaming for you to have what you have nowadays. Atari is one of the forefronts of the whole stepping stone of modern gaming. Believe it or not, Atari was there since the beginning. It was there during the middle, during the console wars, when everybody counted them out and they weren't there. Atari was still there behind the scenes. And then when Atari went into the next gen systems and they started making games for next gen systems, a lot of you guys didn't notice that Atari logo when your game booted up. A lot of people didn't notice that little thing popping up in the corner. Atari is here. And we are celebrating Atari's 50-year contribution with the Atari 50-year celebration edition. This game, if you could call it that, this is a walk through Atari history and a walk through gaming history unlike I have ever played before on any gaming system. This is the result of actual care, actual fandom, and actual game producers, makers, and production engineers reaching out to their base, their customers, their clients, the people that they want to influence, and saying, here, from us to you, here is a love letter of joy in gaming. And if you haven't gotten this, and you are a retro gamer, or you call yourself a retro gamer, because Atari has some new systems, it has some flashbacks, it has some new things that it's come up with. Quite recently, there's a new project that's out where you can put your old cartridges into this new thing that's HDMI enabled and it's ready to go. Atari is still running. Over 50 years and it's still running. We've been around the sun many years. We ain't gonna say how close we are to the Atari's age. Just put it this way. Close enough. Close enough to be day one. Close enough to be day one. I know it's bad, but it is what it is. I have a mini, actually. Hold on one second. All right, so while you guys are here and we're talking about Atari, I pulled my minis off the gaming wall for you guys, for you to take a look at what these systems kind of look like. This was the Atari 2600, and closer to the 5200 look. This is what Atari was, with the buttons, and they had like a little switch in the middle for the 2600, and you pop your cartridge in. This is the Atari flashback, so this is made to be on like a modern flat screen. It uses the composite cables. You also have the Atari 7800, which is, this is a mini version of what it used to look like way back in the day. And this thing is absolutely insane if you've never played it. Now, when it comes to gaming, you're like, I'm so tired of people pushing this old school jive down my throat about old school Atari, because you don't get it. And you know what? Compared to today's graphics, modern graphics, yeah, it's dated. It's very dated. But in our time, it was dated as well. but it was fun factor, and it was something that we had never seen before. Just like you have that groundbreaking PS5 or that new Xbox Series X or S, it's groundbreaking technology. Well, back then in the 70s, this was groundbreaking technology. Atari was groundbreaking technology. This was the beginning for a lot of us gamers. And now you're going to understand just why. We're going to take a stroll down memory lane, starting from the beginning all the way up to modern, because there are some Atari systems besides the 2600, the 5200, and the 7800, and the arcades that I'm not sure you're aware of. Name Jaguar ring a bell? Jaguar? No? Don't know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I figured. But that's why you here. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax with your favorite bag of snacks and unwind, because this is Retro Rewind. And for the next hour, we're going to try to keep it. Try to keep it an hour. We're going to take a stroll down Atari memory lane. And this collection is insane. I can't say no more. I am just going to show you what this monstrosity is. This is probably the most beautiful love letter I've ever had from a gaming company. Thank you, Atari. Thank you very much for your service. You have built a gaming empire, the likes that this gamer has in his heart. I can remember going over my cousin's house, busting the 7800. I can remember going over my boy's house, busting the 2600 and the 5200, the cartridges, the paddle, the wheel. Yo, the Atari 7800 joystick with the metal and the rainbow pattern that you see right here that was on it. Yo, you have no idea what you missed. Wow, it's really windy and it's really stormy. I don't know if y'all can hear the wind whipping and the ice hitting, but wow, it's crazy. Well, it may be cold and stormy out there, but it's nice and warm in here. Wow, that's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into some Atari. All right, let's turn the lights down, jump into some Atari. So, the infrastructure we have right here, we have Atari Origins, birth of a console, highs and lows, the dawn of PCs, the 1990s and beyond. Now I know what you're saying. You're like, wait a minute, is this a documentary? A playable documentary? But it's so much more than just a playable documentary. So let's say if you like, it says, have you played Atari today? Welcome to Atari 50. Begin your interactive journey right now through the history below, or jump straight to any game in the library. And you're like, wait a minute, games? Check this out. You're gonna love this. Game library. You can play any game from their entire library of series of games, including arcades, through the years. 1976, 81, 84. You can go through all of these. You can keep going, keep going. It just keeps going. It keeps going. Look at this. Bam. It just keeps going. Like, you have no idea. Like, this, it just keeps going. Like, these are all playable games. These are all playable games, y'all. I figured I owed it to show you just what this can do, and I'm going to show you. Now, as we move along, you'll see up there at the top platform, as the years change, so does the systems. Now we went from 2600 era to the 5200 era. In the 5200 era, we have these cartridges, and then we jump to the 7800 era. That's right. I know. Ninja Golf. Ninja Golf. Yo, we are out here. Then we moved to the Atari Lynx. Did you guys know there was an Atari Lynx? That's right. Atari had a handheld that was absolutely amazing. You had no idea the things it can do. Yes, Atari Lynx. And this is the 90s right here. And then we moved to the Atari 800, something most of you guys didn't even hear about. This was back in the 80s. And then you move to the Atari Jaguar. The Atari Jaguar, this is what I was telling y'all about. This would be the more modern time during the console wars of Sega, Nintendo, the birth of like Sega CD, the Tower of Power, PlayStation coming into its own designs. Around that time, 1995, the Atari Jaguar was there. And it's probably one of the best systems you never heard of. Now, we have an Atari Jaguar. That's the great part about it. We have a Jaguar. But if you wanted to just dabble into the entire back catalog of Atari, this is the best way of doing it. You can jump from Jaguar back to 2600 back in the day. Look at all the games at your disposal. I know, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And they're like, they can't all be playable. Yes, they're all playable. They can't all be playable. Yes, they're all playable. Look, I'm up. They give you the information about the game. Press A to play the game. Atari carts, and you playing the game. Damn, y'all. Atari. Y'all think I'm joking? Nah. Y'all think I'm joking? You got a snowman, Ms. Tress. I like Ms. Tress. Let's do Ms. Tress. Beginner's Cup or Borgas Cup. Yeah, y'all talk about Mario Kart in Mode 6. Yo, we was out here. Y'all talk about Mode 6? Bro. I have not bust this in forever. But we gonna get back on track. We gonna get back on track. We gonna get back on track just like that. Yes, you can attack people as well. Oh. Keep it in there. Keep it in there. Keep it in that pocket. Yeah, just like Mario Kart, Mode 6. We can get out of the game. You can do reset, you can load, you can save game, instruction manual, control, screen mode. You can change it to full screen. You can change the filter, the border, like everything. Like instruction manual is the actual Atari manual from back in the day. Yeah, they have that in here too. Yes, the actual manual. You have a digital version of the actual manual. That was a Jaguar controller. Yes, that was a Jaguar controller. Yo, y'all think I'm play pimping? Hold on, right there. Hold on, don't move. Yo, y'all think we out here play pimping? Y'all know where you at. You in the game dojo. Yeah, right there. You see that, Joy? Right there. This is an Atari Jaguar controller. See that? Atari. This is an Atari Jaguar controller. You can see it right there on the screen. This is the real Johnny John. This is the real Johnny John. This is the real Johnny John, yo. Yeah. I told you. See, y'all, a lot of people like, yo, he ain't got all that. He play pimping. That's CG. Bro, I've been a gamer longer than more people have been alive. This is what I do. This is where I'm at. There's many things in the world that I'm not capable of. I may not be able to dunk from a free throw line like Michael Jordan. I may not be able to go 120 miles an hour down a track picking up dimes like Mario Andretti. But what I can do is game. And what I wanted my entire life was to be able to game on every platform that I grew up on. To be able to own a piece of all that nostalgia. To be able to come home from work when my life is stressed out and pop an Atari 2600, Atari 5200, Atari 7800, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Sega CD. Like, the value in those things now are people just selling them to other people, because that's what collecting has become about, just money and vulturism and parasites. But there are a huge number of us still out there that enjoy this shit, that live this shit, that are this shit. We are out there in the world on those rough nights, gaming with this big ass brick of a controller, this Atari Jaguar controller. Matter of fact, we gonna do it. We gonna do it. I don't know what video I'm gonna do it on, but we gonna boot up and drag out and dust off the Atari Jaguar with this big ass controller that's on my wall that I pulled off. And that's what we do. That's what we gonna do. That's exactly what we gonna do. We're gonna bust some Jaguar. But right now we're here taking a memory trip down Atari. So I'm gonna take this big ass controller for right now and set it over here. Big ass Big Mac controller, look like a lunchbox. So let me put this. There you go. That's a little bit better. There we go. All right, so we're gonna get back out of that and we're gonna go to quit. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes. Go back. Now, like I was showing y'all before, this is just, all these games are playable. Every single last one of these games along the entire length of the life cycle of Atari from beginning to end are playable. Some of them are better than others. I'm not gonna lie and say that they are all the bomb, but you have some really good classics in here that are amazing. And look, they even have the arcade machines. Like, the arcade machines are playable in here. Like, this is hot. Like, that's what I'm saying. You are not going to find a more comprehensive array of Atari games. Like, look at this, John. Let me show you. Fire Truck, right? Fire Truck. Fire Truck. Damn. Damn. Like I was saying, we ain't gotta jump in Fire Truck, but like I said, I'm just showing you what this collection has to offer. And the amazing part is, you can literally play the story of Atari from beginning to end. Well, they haven't even ended yet because they're still doing things, but let's say you jump in, they will give you a timeline at the beginning that you can scroll through. You can zoom in, check out the first arcade game, Computer Space, was designed by Atari co-founders Ted Dabney and Nolan Bushnell and manufactured by Nutting Associates. It was based on a 1962 computer game, Space War. You could go down into that, see, Finding a Computer, Space War. You can actually play.
For some reason, I'm looking through the San Jose Mercury and the just random stuff section for sale.
You're actually playing the storyline of Atari. Name another game that has gotten fan service the likes of this, where they will literally compile their game catalog on one game, give you videos, information, backstory of over how they came to be. There's not another game company out there that has done this like this. This game deserves our utmost respect, and honestly, it's one of the best collection games I've ever played in my entire life. And I've sat here and learned, and they give you a percentage so that you get things for going forward and getting 100% of doing all of this. And they give you ability as they invent the games and show you how to play them. You get to play the games that they're showing you they created. It gives you a love for a game in ways that you've never seen before in your entire life. This is Alcorn's business card. Dabney and Bushel, name of their company and their engineering. This is their actual card. Like, you see what you get? What I'm saying that they put in here? You can move down linear progression from point A to point B to learn everything. Rare footage of the 1973 documentary titled Games Computers Plays. We hear from young Nolan Bushnell inside the Synergy office. I butchered that word. SysG office. Notable quotable geniuses, quotes like, and then you can actually play. They tell you when Pong was invented, how Pong came to be, the birth of Pong. Like, all of this is in here. Like, all of this is part of this game compilation.
You know what the Atari motto is? Innovative leisure, right? Well, it didn't say innovative arcade games. It didn't say innovative video games. It said innovative leisure. It was
innovative leisure. And then you could zoom in. You can look at the Pong cabinets, the design, the artwork, the promotions. You could look at the people when the game launched. Like, yeah, you just don't understand. Puppy Pong. And at the very top of it, you can actually hit Y to play. You can actually play the game of Pong. It's that simple. And as you see, the paddles get smaller as you do it. It's two-player, but I'm not playing against nobody. I'm playing against myself, actually. I'm playing with myself. That sounded bad. Yeah, this was Pong, yo. And as you move along the linear progression, you learn the legend of broken Pong machines, quarters, pricing. You learn Space Race, the next game to come out on their market. Gotta check, gotcha, touch me, like all of these things. Like, as you move forward down the progressions and the evolutionary ladder of actual gaming, home Pong, the home Pong console, like it's so hard to literally put this into words, but you're playing actual history, the actual history of Atari from beginning till now. And it's an amazing experience. It's something you have to experience for yourself. So what I'm going to do to end this video is I'm going to jump into a few different games along the linear progression of their line, and we're going to have some fun, and then we're going to end with an Atari salute and a thanks to being the great grandfather of gaming, because you are. Mario Brothers started here. Donkey Kong started here. Pac-Man started here. All those popular names and franchises that have moved on to huge and bigger and better things. They started from the bottom, now we're here. This is the bottom where they started. They were here. This is Atari. Remember the name. The birth of a console. Yeah, you can go down this one too. It's not just one. That's what I'm saying. Like, the arcade comes home. And it's got to resume where I started off and where I resumed. This is the joint I told you about, where the cartridges go in the center. I put it away. But this is the one that I showed you that I have to read the flashback system. But this is what I was talking about with the switches right there, and that's where the cartridges go. VCS launched at $199. Now, if that was in our dollars now, that would be something like $900 with inflation. So yeah, even back then, this thing that you see that's kind of basic was expensive as hell. This cost more than a Super Nintendo when Super Nintendo came out. You get to look at what VCS is, Atari VCS. They give you a little look of what is
On the
a
simplest
VCS.
level, what the VCS, the Atari 2600, what that is, it's a combination of plastic and computer chips that enables you to play a video game, an interactive video game on your home television, which is something that never really happened before.
If you're making an arcade game, it begins as a hardware project. If you need something more in the hardware,
It
you
had
put in the
never
hardware
been
and
done
you
before.
use it in
Picture
the game.
not playing video
The Atari
games at
2600,
home. That's
we
the
didn't have
paddles
that
I was telling
luxury.
you about.
The game was already in Grandma's house. It was already hooked up to her TV. All we could do is make a different cartridge, sell that to the person, he plugs it in.
It was the thing that made video games a worldwide phenomenon. And all it is it's a box that enables you to play an interactive game on your TV. But on a cultural level, that's such a
Oh, by the way, if y'all
huge
didn't know,
thing
it's
to
right
do,
over there on
because
my
there were
wall.
two things that achieved
Right there.
that changed the world, literally changed the world.
There's the Atari
One is
controllers,
They
2600,
put computers
5200,
in
7800,
at a time where
all original.
IBM only had about 10,000
Yeah.
PCs
We
sold
out here.
together.
We out here, I told
Atari
you.
had millions of units installed, and every one of those was a computer in the home. The other thing it did was it created an interactive medium with television, which was always a passive medium. Before video games, people were just zombies sitting on the couch watching TV. But video games turned people into zombies jumping up and down on the couch yelling at the TV. And that was a very different experience. And I think that was huge in terms of taking people from a passive state to an active state. And we're still learning the implications of that.
See what I'm saying? They were the pioneers of video gaming as we know it today. This is where respect needs to be drawn. This is where respect needs to be added. This is where respect needs to be put. These people literally were the building blocks of what we're doing today. And without them, none of this would be possible. None of it. Which is why Atari has a place on my wall. It has a wall, and that's why I have Atari systems still to this day in here, because I have memories of Atari. Playing Atari, going over people's houses, taking my cartridges over their houses because they ain't have them. They taking the cartridges over my house because I ain't have them. The roll, the paddles. Like, bro, I can't tell you how many hours I put in Galga, how many hours I put in Cubert, how many hours I put in Centipede, Millipede, Missile Command. Oh my God, like Space Invaders, Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man. Like, you know how many hours that I put into these games? And this was at a time where graphics was at a minimal, but it was so engaging and so fun that it swept the world by storm. That's what made them a household name. That's what put them on the map, is the innovativeness of what they did. They were leaps and bounds above all technology at the time. This is Atari. When you have your conversations about retro, when you have your conversations about gaming, when you have your conversations about good old times, don't forget the old timers like me. Don't forget the older gamers like me. Don't forget the old gaming systems like the Atari. Don't forget about the foundation, the building blocks that made gaming, to the much that these game makers, Atari, still makes games to this day. To this very day in 2025. Matter of fact, they just released a new Atari system that works off of these cartridges that literally attaches right to your HDMI. That shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes with Atari and how the popularity of Atari changed the face of gaming. Highs and lows, they tell you about what happened. Trouble in paradise. Yeah, see, I'm unlocking these things as I'm doing them. Atari at a crossroads. The Intellivision, that's another system. I think only my cousin had an Intellivision. It's by Mattel, believe it or not. Intellivision and Mattel. Yeah, they go back that far. My cousin Will, who's no longer with us, believe had a Intellivision. It's a weird console, but once you figured it out, it was actually an amazing little piece of technology to deal with. And I honestly wish I still had one to this day. I really do. And the Atari age begins. In 1982, Atari launched the Atari Club, a customer loyalty program that players could join, purchase Atari products directly at discounted prices, as well as Atari magazines, games that were sold exclusively through the Atari Club and not out. This was Xbox. This was the Xbox app before Xbox. This was the PlayStation Network app before the PlayStation. This was Atari, and they had the foundation of these kind of ideas back then. I'm telling you, games brought people together back then. It saved lives. It brought together family members. It bridged the gap between parents and their children. Gaming changed the face of reality and life. Not always for the good, but mostly for the good. There are some bad stories here and there of gaming destroying people's lives because people just couldn't put the controller down. I've been there. I think we all have. I don't know how many of y'all are real gamers, but real gamers sometimes, I can't tell you how many times that I look out and it's 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm playing a new game that I wanted to play, and I keep checking the time, but I'm not really paying attention to it. Haven't gone to the bathroom, haven't eaten nothing, haven't really done nothing. And then I look, and then it's pitch black outside, and I'm like, yo, what time is it? Yo, it's 10:30. You've been playing this game from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10:30 at night? Yeah. All right, I gotta get something to eat. You go get something to eat, and you sitting down and you like, yo, what if I go back and do this? I can figure out that. I can figure out this puzzle. Yo, I got an idea. What if I do this and I do that? And then before you know it, after dinner, it's 9 o'clock, you back up here again and you bust in the game. And before you know it, now it's getting light outside. So you've literally been gaming almost 24 hours. Yeah, that's a real gamer. That's a real gamer. That's a real gamer's life. Atari. So anyway, Demons to Diamonds was another game. All right, we're going to back up out of that one. The dawn of PCs, you can jump into that as well. The computer generation, they talked to you about starting in the 1970s, personal computers began to carve out its own place. even though they was expensive as all hell. Atari gets personal. I wonder if any of them are still alive today. The Atari 400 and 800. Oh my God, $499. Oh my God, the Atari 400 and 800 was $499. $500. That's about like $2,000. No, actually, with inflation, I would say it's about, yeah. The Atari 400 was $499 back then. That's about $2,000 nowadays. And Atari 800 was $900, it was $1,000 back then. So by today's standards, like times, I think it's like times 4. So it'd be like $4,000 today, the Atari 800. So if you have an Atari 800 out there, bro, you sitting on guap. You sitting on a legacy. Computers at home for the first time, the 1960s. I know a lot of y'all don't know about that one. If you ever seen the Atari 400, this kind of looks like the one that they use on National Lampoon's Vacation with the family truckster, where Audrey and Rusty were eating the car as the dad was trying to show them the itinerary. Yeah, and then you have the 1990s and beyond, where they tell you about the latest systems from Atari. Atari comes roaring back with the CD-ROM systems. Yeah, Atari came back. The Lynx, like I told you before, that was that handheld joint. The Atari Lynx, that's what you saw me busting whatchamacallit on. I even love their infrastructure. This is amazing.
There were so many things near the end of my early days with Atari that I wish, like everything we felt was underappreciated. Like I bought a Lynx and I was trying to find people to play the Lynx with me, and everyone else had a Game Boy. And I was like, you guys, Todd Slime World, let's do this. Let's play Warbirds. Come on.
And the Lynx was totally Sam's baby. He loved the notion of the hardware, and Sam, man, he loved the Lynx into the ground, right? You know, against all odds, he wanted to make it successful. You know, we did the original one that was sort of the original design, and then he was like, no, we got to double down on it and do it and make it better.
Being in the Bay Area, you see these ads, come test video games. So I think I tried out at a few places. Electronic Arts comes to mind. Didn't get the job there, but was lucky enough to kind of get the QA job at Atari. Back in the day, I think it was a lot more fun. People playing 4 Lynx games and then having them all go out of sync and then having to track that down. Like, probably at the 1,000th time that happens, it does get a little old. But I think back in the day, you actually got a lot more input into the games. So a lot of the last Lynx games like Lemmings and some of the early Jaguar games like Cybermorph, the QA department actually got a lot of input into those games from a design perspective. You know what? I think the Lynx was great hardware. I like the fact that it was color. And I think the fact that you could have this like 4-way local multiplayer was great.
20-some years later, here I am buying a Lynx with a RGB output because people are still modding them, you know, and selling them on eBay and stuff, right?
I told you, man. Yo, Atari is unimaginable when it came to things. I'm telling you. Ninja Golf. And I like how you can actually flip the box around to look at it. They got the actual SKU from back in the day. You get to look at the box art. This is such a beautiful compilation and a love letter to gamers. Like, and if you even wanted to play Ninja Golf right now, like, you could literally just go right ahead and play it. You can play Ninja Golf. Yeah, Justin Timberlake and Timberland and Magoo was not on that beat, but we out here, yeah. But yeah, it's awesome. Let me show you the options that you can do. So you have audio volume, menu, music on, vibration, mouse intensity, resolution. You can change Windows to full. You got licenses. I like the game library just for the simple fact that you can play everything. Creepy cabin. Creepy cabin, creepy cabin. Terror tower. Magnus mansion. Graves Academy. Creepy cabin. Keep out. Terror of tower. The terror tower. Madness mansion. We're gonna do creepy cabin, creepy cabin. We can turn the lights on and off. We can't play. Oh, we gotta do the other one first. Oh, so we gotta start with this one. Okay. My name is Ernie. Say, you seem to be pretty limber for a floating pair of eyeballs. Must be nice. Press the analog stick to try moving around. Okay. All right, we out here. Nice, you did it. Do you also think you can use the R to look around? I think I can. Yeah. Are we out here? We're gonna walk the eyes over to here. Doesn't it seem a little dark in here? That pretty much scared the living shit out of me. Even for a haunted school, I mean, press X to light that torch you have. Okay, didn't know I had a torch, and it cost me $10. The bar in the upper left will tell you when your torch is set to expire. When it's enough, when enough's enough, press X to fire it back up. Got it. Okay. So your torch runs out, which is, I can see that. There's helpful items scattered throughout this building, but remember, you can only see them if your torch is lit. Gotcha. Keep your torch lit and grab the scepter scroll. Protection on the right. The scroll makes creatures and ghosts ignore you. Okay. So you can only carry one item at once. Pressing A will drop the item you're carrying. Okay. All right. So Alright, so it costs money to light the torch, but the torch only lasts so far. Okay. To run. Alright, so we gotta find a key. And it's a time task. Okay. Alright, there's the key. Got it. Alright. Our torch about to go out, though. It's about to go out, like, can we extinguish it, or does it extinguish itself? Alright, so you can't see it unless you light your torch. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now we have that. We ditched the key. One more lesson lies dead ahead. This is the elevator lift. Your spirits to the next floor. Okay. Alright. What the hell was that? Why did that blow out my joint? Did I miss something? I think I missed something. Wait, that's the key. Wait a minute, what? Careful or ghosts will steal your lives. Alright, we're gonna go back to menu. Ghost level, spooky spectre, dark spirit. See what I'm saying? Like, do you see the factor and the fun in this? This is awesome. Breakout, Quadra Tank, Sword Quest. They reimagined this in 2022. Ooh, I'd be down. Okay. Okay. So I just have to. All right. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, I got you. Got you. So it's like Frogger. I got you. So what? What do I do? Okay. Cool. All right. Touch me. I don't think I'm gonna touch him. So they did the reimagined ones here too. I like that. So they did some reimagined series. Vector Sector, Yar's Revenge. I love that. Oh wow. They'll even tell you unreleased prototype arcade. Akra. Oh, this is awesome. Push start, player one. Actually, I remember playing this in arcade. That's the crazy part. I actually remember playing this in arcade. I actually remember playing this. That's insane. I actually remember playing this in arcade. They had one of them little roller things that you can go roll left and roll right. Wow. It's amazing. Cloak and Dagger? Wow. Castle Crystals, Fire Truck, we busted that earlier. Food Fight, Gravatar, iRobot. How many of y'all know how many of y'all know that movie you watch with Will Smith was based off an Atari game? Liberator, Lunar Lander, Major Havoc, Millipede, Missile Command, Pong, Quantum, Space Duel, Sprint, Super Breakout, Tempest, Warlords, Tic-Tac-Toe, 3D Tic-Tac-Toe, Adventure. Is this a John that they played in Ready Player One? This is the game they played in Ready Player One. You're supposed to take the key and go to the first Easter egg. I think you were supposed to go to a random place that you had to take the key to like a random place. I don't remember where it was. It was like the first Easter egg ever. I don't remember where it was. Oh my God. Lanning would be so angry at me. It's like the first Easter egg. You're supposed to take the key to an empty room where nothing is. It was like the first Easter egg ever invented. Oh, I gotta watch Ready Player One just for it. I gotta watch Ready Player One just for that. Oh, bro, that was the task. That was one of the final tasks. How did I not remember that? That is from Ready Player One. Oh my god. Oh my god. The first Easter egg. Yeah, see? Warren Robinette was inspired to create adventure by text adventure games. Little known, his graphical dungeon crawling game would inspire other designers of decades to come. In the act of defiance against Atari's rules against crediting its programmers publicly, Adventure contains the first Easter egg, a hidden screen with Robinette's name in the console game. Oh my god! Oh, now I gotta go and figure out where the hell that Easter egg is. We gotta do that. It's the biggest nerd geekdom in the world, but we gotta do that. We have got to do that. We are so there. We're there. We're there. Asteroids. Confidential. What's confidential? A dead end hides a secret room in Graves Academy. To find a treasure, pass the test. It's elementary. What is this? A dead end hides a secret room in Graves Academy. To find a treasure, pass the test. It's elementary. Did they just give me? Is that the clue? Is that the clue? Did they just give me the clue? A dead end. Is it a dead end? No, I bet you I still got to know where to go. That's my problem. I want to say I remember it in my head of taking the key to the room. Bro, this is going to kill me because now I really want to do this. I really want to do this. I really want to find the world's first Easter egg. Like, no. Hey, I'm stuck now because I did that joint. But yeah, I think that was a clue. I think that was a clue that they gave me. I think that was a clue. Bro. I see little dots up top. I'm wondering if the walls again come crashing down. Disorder of this one. When this game's special board is cleared, your secret task is done. Oh, this is hot. This is hot. So they have like secret confidential prototype comes out to play upon the fields of war. To find it, reimagine tanks. What are you waiting for? Oh, this is hot. This is hot. This is hot. I did not know they had that in here. Bro. Oh my god. They have little hidden shit in games that they tell you about. That is fire. I'm 100% sure now that this one is referring to adventure. Alright, so we gonna do our geek shit. Hold on one second. Okay, I gotta play a little bit in order to get the Easter egg. But okay, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and jelly spoons, this is the Atari 50th collection. Probably the most comprehensive game collection ever invented for just the love of Atari. It is worth it on every aspect of retro gaming. The videos, the heritage, the stories, the playability, to get all you ever wanted to know about Atari can be found in this 50th collection. Everything you wanted to know. And they're still doing DLC for it. I think there's a DLC for it now that I have to download. But think about that. Think about recapturing your old feelings if you're an older gentleman or an older woman like me. Not an older woman, older gentleman, but I'm saying I'm including women in it. I ain't just saying, women couldn't be gamers. I mean, my sister played games back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I had to light that ass up sometimes in Mario Kart, you know what I'm saying? I had to get behind you with a red shell and bust the coins out of you, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? She held her own. She played some games, you know what I'm saying? I salute women gamers. No sexism here in the Game Dojo. If you could bring it, you could bring it. My girl Ashley, she bust Super Mario up in here. I done had quite a few slimmies up in here busting some games. Like I have no bias whatsoever. You come to game, you come to the Game Dojo. We game, therefore we are gamers. We bust it in here, we roll it in here, and that's the way it is. I don't have no problem with race, color, creed, religion, sexual orientation. It ain't mattering if you a gamer. All that matters is that you game. You game, therefore you are. You cool in my book if you a gamer. But you gotta be a real gamer. Can't be no play pimping. Now I ain't saying you can't come up here and you have to game. You could come up here and sit next to me and just watch me game. That's cool, because I do that too. I go over people's cribs and watch them game. When I go over my brother's house all the time, I watch them bust games. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I ain't quite as confident as I want to jump in and get destroyed. So sometimes I want to watch, learn, understand, get the wheels. But what I'm saying is, if you wanted to know about Atari, all you wanted to know about Atari, if you wanted to dive in head first for this thing called Atari, A-T-A-R-I, this game collection, this history demonstration, this documentary, this game-umentary. I like that, game-umentary. I like that. Game-umentary is worth it in spades. We haven't even touched the games that are on this boy. And we've played little bits and little bits, but that I want to do that first Easter egg thing. I so want to do that first Easter egg thing. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm going too crazy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the hour. Thank you for joining me here on Retro Rewind. And I'm so glad to go back to one of my first gaming experiences ever in my life, the Atari. The Atari was groundbreaking. Back then, I didn't know what the world was going to lead to of gaming. I didn't know how big gaming was going to be. I didn't know that this whirlwind would become so big and so monumental that it would be affecting my life over 45 years later. Yeah, that's right, over 45 years. Over 45 years later, it's still affecting my life. And whether I like the current state of where gaming is, with microtransactions and cannibalizations of just people's times and hard drive space, it is gaming. It is the time we're living in, and this is the gaming culture of now. I prefer classic gaming culture, but I'm a part of this nation too. We are Gamer Nation. We do gaming, all forms of gaming, electronical, board, mobile, console, PC. And if it games, we game it. If it plays, we play it. That's it. That's it. This is what we do. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining me here in the Game Dojo for another great walk down memory lane for retro gaming. This was the Atari 50th collection, and I am moved to absolute joy that I had a chance to run down this with you guys. Some memories, some joy, the world's first Easter egg, which we are going to do. We're going to do it. Something popped up. Okay, not a problem. Yeah, but I don't really need you right now, dude. Okay. So anyway, until next gameplay, next game round, I'll see you guys later in the dojo. Same time, same place. Hopefully we'll still be here. While the world is going crazy out there, we gaming in here. And we game. We are serious about our business. Gaming only begins in the hours of when it begins and when it ends. And sadly, it ends now. For the Atari has now been put in the books. Not for the last time. Damn sure not for the last time, because we are going to pull out this monstrous controller and we are going to bust that Atari Jaguar. I keep wanting to say Jaguar. But yeah. You see the size of this damn controller? Oh my god, bro. This is like... like, if they just made that, it was cool. But look at all of these buttons. Look at this controller. This is from old school, bro. This is from 90s. You gotta be deep into the 90s to know what this is. Like, if I just put this in a thumbnail, I was like, identify it. Only my old school people would know what this is. Look at the size of it next to an Xbox One controller. Look at the size of this controller, yo. Look at it. I'm telling you. Bro. I can't wait to bust this. And yeah, it is an official Atari controller, in case you didn't know. I can't wait to bust this, Johan, and bust some Jaguar, just because I need this ginormous... I have huge hands, and this thing dwarfs my hands. This is... Oh my god, this is a whole video in itself. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll check you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. This was awesome and phenomenal. Until next time, I love gaming. I love all of you. Thank you for making my channel what it is. I'll see you next time.